My name is Olivia Peter. I'm here on behalf of the Student Music Network, and I'm joined here today with the lovely Joe Hertz.
Hello, how's it
Hello.
going?
How are you doing today?
I'm good, Olivia. Thank you for having me on.
No worries. You were just given a little mini tour of your new studio in your house.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a mess right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like we're moving stuff around. So yeah, I got the synth set up. First things first, priorities. But yeah, there's nothing on the walls right now. There needs to be some more vibes, but we'll
Yeah.
get there. We'll get there.
How did you get into music production, if you don't mind me asking? Like, how did you like teach yourself music production? Did you sign up to any courses? Talk to me about it.
So yeah, early on, I was just going around to my mate's house and like DJing a lot on vinyl. Like we were just playing a lot of drum and bass. And yeah, going out to like drum and bass raves on the weekends and stuff like that. And that sort of like grew this urge to like, okay, I'm interested in like how these tracks work. I want to start doing it myself. Managed to get hold of Reason 2.5, which was like classic bit of like music software, and just started messing around. You know, literally no backstory to it except for just like, you know, the idea of you know, the tracks I wanted to like make with drum and bass and what I was hearing, and just sort of figuring it out myself. And then like I started getting better at it. You sort of just teach yourself, like YouTube tutorials, like it's all out there. You know, you're chatting to people, just making mistakes, you know, happy mistakes. And yeah, eventually I did end up going into education, like learning more, like doing like a music production course. But that was only after I'd sort of like figured a lot of stuff out myself. And yeah, that was sort of, you know, it's great being told, you know, what things do what in education, but really the most important thing I did from that period of my life was meet people and stay up until like 5:30 in the morning with them, trying to make like some grimy dubstep or something like that, you know. And those were the moments where I think I learned the most, because you're really in it. You're trying to achieve something for yourself rather than being told, oh, this mic does this, or this plugin does this and this and this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's all well and good, but it's how you use those things yourself.
You kind of have to just throw yourself into it and just experiment and see like what comes out of it. And that's kind of the joy of it, because you never really know what you're going to create. And it's those unexpected sessions. I guess like, yeah, at after it's 5:30 in the morning, like, yeah, let's give it a go. Why not? Like, we're here.
They're the times that stick in your mind, and they're also like inspirational for like when it comes to writing stuff as well. Like, because you know, you're stepping out of your comfort zone to do something, that they sort of stick with you, those moments. You know what I mean?
You said that you would go to a lot of like drum and bass raves when you were younger. Was there anyone in particular that you would go and see, or a DJ that you saw perform live or did music production, or yeah, producing, and you were like, wow,
I was really into like just the high energy, like the True Players nights at Fabric and stuff were always like really good. And then, you know, all the liquid guys like Spectra Soul and Caliber, and you know, Calix and TV, and like Noisier as well, a bit more sort of like grimy, like Dutch kind of techie sort of stuff. Like, yeah, and just the production always like blew my mind. Like, I was always trying to recreate those kind of bass lines, or the mixes within some of those tracks were some of the most like well crafted, incredible pieces of audio art, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I don't know, these like nerdiest guys that care so much. And it's yeah, it's amazing because it doesn't carry across to like the real well, it kind of does now. Like, I suppose it has obviously inspired a lot of pop music now, but still look back at those tracks and I'm like, these mixes, I put them on in a new studio that I've never walked into before to gauge kind of what the room sounds like. So I've listened to those songs so many times and I know that they're so perfectly mixed. So I'm like, okay, this sounds like this in here. I kind of know where I'm at.
so who would you say at the moment you are most excited about in the music industry? It could be someone in the D&B genre, it could be someone, you know, yeah, just
I don't know why
genre.
we're still talking about D&B. Obviously, like that's where it all started, and then for me, like my sound, you know, pivoted a lot, and it became a lot more,
It's
you know.
quite a lot more mellow, your sounds. I was going to say, like, that's
Yeah, no,
yeah.
exactly. Do you know, for sure? Like I often talk about the drum bass thing, but yeah, it's to sort of like I sort of like, I like the energy that exists in that sort of genre, but like trying to package it in a new way and like deliver it in a sort of more like you said, mellow, but there's still some kind of driving sort of force behind it. Do you know what I mean? Something funky, something like, I don't know. I really like the new Eliza album. Well, she used to go under Eliza Doolittle, but like she's now just Eliza. And yeah, her project's fire, man. Like, yeah, my friend Pharaoh worked on that album, and it's just fresh. It's just really sick.
Let's talk about your new EP that was released, Kiss from the Sun.
Yeah,
like you were saying before, there's really melodic, quite like, I'm going to say very like smooth kind of dance vibes where you can just kind of like very sunset vibes when I was listening to it. Is there any song in particular that kind of stood out to you in the EP that you particularly love or have like an anecdote for?
I mean, like, I had to dig through so many ideas in like creating this one EP. It was quite difficult. Like, there's a lot of vibes I sort of made during COVID when I basically drove to Ibiza with my girlfriend at the time and a dog, and we just sort of escaped there, found a place to stay, set up a little studio setup, and I just found it way more inspiring to create in a new setup like that rather than trying to hammer it out at home and continue sort of doing what I was doing. And so yeah, all of those ideas came from that time. I mean, I love them all. Like, Flowers Deep for me has a real special sort of place in my heart, particularly just because, yeah, you sort of it was one of those days where I was just traveling around and like driving around the island and exploring, and it's just a really cool day of just like moving around and just seeing a load of stuff, and then yeah, coming back and just starting this idea at home, and it's just got this whole adventure packaged into the sort of vibe. I don't know, it always takes me back there when I listen to it. So yeah, it was one of those ones.
Yeah, it's like kind of just a good collection of like kind of memories, I guess, from that time, or just the
exactly.
I guess the inspiration you get when you're there, kind of like
exactly
the experimentation like you did back in the day. It's that same kind of like practice, isn't it? Just kind of the environment that you're in at the time and what you create.
Oh, 100%. I always say, like, the target's always moving. I try and tell myself that because I don't want to get stuck in a pattern of doing the same things when I come to making music. And I work with a lot of different artists, up and coming artists, just writing stuff. Some of it doesn't come out, but you're making music every day, and it's quite easy to get into like the same rhythm. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you do this, then you do this, then you do this, and like sometimes it was nice just to like, right, I'm just going to leave all of this stuff, all of this equipment that like looks cool. I'm just going to leave it and just take like the basic stuff, like laptop, and then just go and just vibe something out with the bare bones stuff, what you've got. And it's sort of like helps me personally focus on what's important. It's just like capturing those little bits.
What was it like to work with Sebastian Gaskin and Livy Gash as well on the EP? How did you guys all collaborate together?
So we found each other online, and it's just like linking up and going like, yo, love your stuff, let's do something together one day. Obviously it was a really hard time to collaborate with anyone being so remote, but it was a testament to how technology has come so far. I mean, like, working online these days is really easy, super like accessible, and I don't know, if you've got good internet you can literally be anywhere. But yeah, no, it was really cool to work with them online, like just back and forthing stuff. They're both really talented, and we're just, it's fun to work with people who are just like super excited about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it just becomes like, okay, you know, I'll send you something, and within like 48 hours he'll send me back something that's like really good, and then it will encourage me to just quickly open the laptop, then do it there and then. So yeah, it was a cool process, just going back and forth. And I still haven't met either of them, so it's kind of wild. Yeah,
that is quite wild.
Seb's in Winnipeg in Canada, and Livigesh is in Seoul in South Korea. So I mean,
Wow.
obviously next time I'm out DJing or something, I'm definitely hitting them up. We're doing some stuff.
That is incredible. Like just the power of social media, yeah, the power of internet, especially just being able to have those like worldwide almost like crossover collaborations is absolutely incredible. You've had shows on Represent Radio. You covered for Friday night, you've had guest mixes on there. I wanted to know what it was like going on community radio stations, because they're very, very popular, and I think a lot of people who will be watching this interview will be wanting to get into those big like community radio stations that we all know and love. How did you do it, and what would your advice be to those people?
Do you know what, when these opportunities come along, I'm always just like, oh, 100% do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, it's a fun little, like, even if it's a challenge, like, oh god, I haven't spoken and done a mix for a while. Do you know? I like putting myself on the spot like that. It's uncomfortable and I stress about it, but it's always like it's just really like just rewarding, just doing that stuff. It takes me back to like, again, like going to have a mix in my mate's house or something like that. I just love sharing music and talking about it. The money's not important there, do you know what I mean? It's just like soul satisfying sort of thing. So yeah, whenever an opportunity comes like that, like, yeah, I always want to jump on it. And I've actually got, I don't know if you were going to ask, but I've actually got new music coming out next week with Jasper Tigner, which is the last track of our EP, Theory One. With like 2 of the tracks were out earlier this year, and this is the final track of that EP. And there's going to be a vinyl release as well, but we'll be taking over again on that date next week, I think the 26th.
Yeah,
so we'll be taking over that show for a 2-hour slot, and yeah, bringing the vibes to that.
I knew you had new music coming out. I didn't know it's a Jasper, so that's gonna be like a euphoric escape of music. It's just you two collaborating together. It's going to be insane. How did you guys get together then as well?
Again, like, you know, because I think Jasper's whole career has been sort of spanned over like the COVID era. So like the kid's like absolutely wildly good at what he does. And we found each other again just on social media, like, but he lives really close by. And just reached out, was like, love your stuff, let's get in for a session. He was up for it, came through. We just got on really, really well. He feels like my younger brother. So, and I just want, and after the first session, I was like, dude, I just want to help you. Like, I don't know how I don't know, just let's just keep doing stuff. And if I can help you in any way, please let me, because like, I'm super behind his talent as well. So, yeah, super exciting to see like his growth as well.
Yeah,
you know, and I just love I love working with new artists in general. I'd say the same about loads of people I work with, but sometimes you find those people that it's just like, it's actually just super natural and easy in the studio, and it's like, okay, this isn't just going to be a 1-track thing. Let's keep going, and see what we can make, you know.
Have you got anything coming up at the moment? Are you planning on doing any more DJ gigs, touring?
I mean, I'm again just like back on sessions, and yeah, obviously still championing the EP that's just come out, Kiss from the Sun. And yeah,
I wanted to ask just one last question, just a bit of a fun one. If you had to spend a weekend festival with one celebrity, it could be absolutely anyone, who would it be and why?
I'm tempted to say Anderson .Paak. I just think he'd just be a lot of fun. Just come on, like, I don't know why, I'm just obsessed with the guy. Like, I love with his caricatures and his whole thing, man. It's just hilarious. Like, yeah.
He'd be good vibes. I feel like he'd kind of like calm you down and kind of be like, no, like, and he'd know the good acts at a festival, I feel like.
You would not question like what he would say. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, okay, let's do it.
Oh my god, that's a great answer. I'll give you that. That's sick. Any festival
I thought that was going to be hard, but he just popped in my head straight away. Like, fair enough.
Oh, Joe, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna say thank you so much for joining me today. Your new
Olivia.
Kiss the Sun is already out now, and you've got new music coming out next week. Do you want to just plug it one more time?
follow me on social media, Joe Hertz Music. The final track of my latest EP with Jasper Tigner is coming out next week. And yeah, it's the last track of an EP called Theory One. It's going to be sick.
It's going to be sick. I'm looking forward to it as well. It's going to be amazing. Oh, thank you. Nice. Yeah, literally, thank you so much for joining us today. And we'll definitely see you soon. Bye.
Cool. Bye.